Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia back with another episode. With Clash of Champions just 2 days away, what will the WWE do to hype it on Smackdown? Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the 25th September episode of Smackdown, as well as the wildest wrestling news and stories you need to know, including, is The Rock headed to Impact Wrestling? Roman Reigns shoots on Jon Moxley, praise for Peyton Royce, what Eric Bischoff thinks of Retribution, and more. As always, Wrestlelamia won't recap the show, but provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. The good. Roman is rocking. Roman Reigns has wasted no time embracing his heel persona, and while it's likely Paul Heyman has been guiding him, Reigns has gone on record as saying how Heyman has helped him through the years, Reigns deserves the lion's share of the credit for his performance as a tyrannical champion. The Universal Champion's self-proclaimed position as the Island Chief makes it clear that there's only room for one big dog, no pun intended, and he's more than willing to brutalize anyone, family or not, who defies him. The WWE's creative department deserves credit for foreshadowing what is going to be a near-death experience for Jey Uso at Clash of Champions, as Reigns has shown that no one is safe from his wrath. Anyone familiar with the Shield's early work knows that Reigns can play a good heel, but the way things are going, he's quickly going to become a great main event heel, something the WWE could benefit from, particularly if it can create some equally great babyfaces to battle the Universal Champion. Jey's passionate promo. Major props to the WWE for incorporating the Anoa'i family into the match hype, and also allowing Jey Uso to cut a fantastic promo. Uso's talk of wanting to distinguish himself as more than a tag team champion and as his own man was well done, adding some much-needed fire to an uneven match. While the days when wrestlers could talk fans into buying tickets for a show are long over, largely because the business model is no longer solely reliant on house shows, strong promos are still a great way to build interest in a match. Jey Uso's promo took a match that on paper looks like a squash and made it seem as if Uso might pull off a miracle. The Possession of Alexa Bliss, Part 3. The WWE has had some bad storylines through the years, but The Fiend's slow corruption of Alexa Bliss isn't one of them. The WWE has managed to show Bliss's gradual descent into devilry, and best of all, it's done so with minimal presence from The Fiend, making him an almost unearthly force that is haunting her from afar. As Wrestlelamia has said the last few weeks, Bliss's performances have been excellent, and while she can sometimes get a bit over the top, she's a wrestler, not an actress, and she's doing everything she should. Where the angle goes is anyone's guess, but there's tremendous potential in The Fiend having a pernicious partner, and the WWE has done a terrific job piquing the fans' interest in seeing how things will play out. The Fiend's in the details. Not only has the WWE been booking Little Miss Bliss's descent into madness well, but it's following up with some devilishly delightful details, such as the segment when Bliss glared at Roman Reigns' Universal Championship, almost as if the Fiend was looking through her eyes and lusting after the belt. The WWE Universe normally doesn't get to enjoy these kind of details, and it enhances the storylines. More focus on the undercard. Smackdown excelled tonight not only because of its main event build-up, but because it gave some time to the undercard storylines of the Lucha House Party's internal struggles, as well as the Matt Riddle vs. King Corbin feud. While one or both of these storylines may not connect with fans, the WWE deserves credit for giving them time to build up rather than dropping them after 1 or 2 weeks. Strong build-up for the ladder match. A ladder match is a big thing, but sadly, it's almost become just another bout, whether it's the WWE's Money in the Bank or TLC pay-per-views or matches on TV. Thankfully, that hasn't been the case here, as WWE has spent time telling the story of why this match is so important, unifying the disputed Intercontinental Championship, and giving Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy time to help hype the match. This match is an instant classic on paper, and truth be told, the WWE didn't have to hype it. The fact that they did suggests the promotion might realize just how special a match they have on their hands. The bad. Otis' storyline is awful. Wrestlelamia doesn't want to repeat itself, but we can't help but point out that the Otis and Miz Morrison storyline continues to crumble week after week. As pathetic as this storyline is, there's something tragic about how Otis's push has evaporated quicker than a WWE ice cream bar in the desert. The Downright Ugly. Absolutely nothing ugly about this show, and Smackdown continues to exemplify how to put on an entertaining show week in and week out and build hype for its pay-per-views. Raw writers, take notice. News. The Rock in Impact? No, don't think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has a new wrestling home, especially after him saying he'd be down to battle Roman Reigns, but he may be inducting Ken Shamrock into the Impact Hall of Fame. Shamrock tweeted, "At The Rock, hey brother, I'm being inducted into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. I would be very grateful if you could send an induction greeting. After all, I believe my time with you was my greatest memories in wrestling. Thank you." The Rock replied, "Congratulations, my brother. Awesome news. I will take care of this and get it to you by this weekend." Do you think The Rock will induct Shamrock? If so, will Vince McMahon lose his mind as Impact gets some great press from The Rock's appearance? Roman Reigns shoots on Jon Moxley. Roman Reigns doesn't seem to be happy with Jon Moxley right now, at least if some recent comments he made on Zoom are true. During a conversation with fans, the current Universal Champion was asked about the Shield and a possible reunion. "Well, I guess Ambrose or Moxley really messed that up. He just left us. I do not think the Shield will ever be recreated. That's because Mox went to AEW." During his conversation, Reigns acknowledged the Shield's greatness, but said the WWE pushed the reunion a bit too much and said that he thinks the best thing to do is to give the Shield a rest for at least half a decade. Reigns is off to a great start as a heel, and the WWE should allow him to establish himself as a single star. These comments are another reminder of how Roman Reigns seems to be embracing his role as a heel and the WWE's tribal chief. The most fascinating question is how much of these comments reflect Roman's personal feelings and how much are him wanting to support the WWE brand. Is Reigns kicking it like Seth Rollins, who became the WWE's unofficial spokesperson when it came to criticizing other promotions and defending the WWE from any and all criticism, getting to the point where the fans turned on him? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Retribution reveals reason for WWE contracts. While the Retribution storyline has had its moments, more than a few fans criticized their announcement on the 21st September Raw that 5 of their members had signed WWE contracts. After all, if the group is dedicated to destroying the WWE, why would they sign contracts? Recently, one of the group's members, T-Bar, tweeted an explanation. "WWE offered us contracts because it was financially cheaper than all of the security guards we kept injuring. We signed the contracts to pay for our hired guns to do our dirty work. Our goal is still to destroy our current employer, WWE. Yes, WWE is paying us to destroy their company because we were successfully destroying it regardless. They think if we are under contract, then they can contain or manage our chaos. But they will be unsuccessful. Stop overthinking literally everything." Some fans aren't buying this explanation, but it's good that WWE is putting some effort into fixing this storyline whole. One theory currently going around is that a high-level figure inside WWE is helping Retribution, with Shane McMahon's name coming up frequently. Praise for Peyton Royce. Things are looking good for Peyton Royce, who rumor has it is set for a big singles push following the end of her Iconics team with longtime friend Billie Kay. In an exclusive report, WrestleTalk's Louis Dangoor revealed that many people are praising Peyton's performances. WrestleTalk can also confirm that Vince isn't the only person who Peyton has impressed lately. Sources have told WrestleTalk's Louis Dangoor that the former Iconics member has not only impressed Vince McMahon and other higher-ups within WWE, but also several of her colleagues on the roster. Given the prolific praise for Peyton, do you think the former Iconics member has what it takes to be a success as a singles star? Let us know in the comments below. WWE game plan is quantity over quality. Wondering why the WWE seems to be exploding with content, ranging from podcasts to documentaries to even wrestling? It's all a part of the company's game plan, at least according to Ringside News and the Wrestling Observer. Ringside News is reporting the WWE is tasking the writers to churn out content instead of plan for substance. The company placing so many specials on the WWE Network falls in line with how they consider their television storylines. It would appear to be a case of quantity over quality, perhaps with the idea that there's something for everyone, the idea being that while one fan may dislike the current in-ring product, they may enjoy a WWE podcast. Dave Meltzer went so far as to say, "With these shows on the WWE Network, and it's not about presenting matches people will pay to see. Considering the lack of paying fans at live events, this may not be a bad idea." Eric Bischoff criticizes Retribution. Eric Bischoff helped mastermind arguably the greatest invasion angle in wrestling, the New World Order, in case you're coming late to the party. So what does he think about Retribution? He thinks it sucks. The former ATM Eric was asked about the storyline on his 83 Weeks podcast and said there's no story driving the group. Whatever storyline you're going to launch, whatever character you're going to launch, that angle, that story has to begin with either an inciting incident, as you would say in the film industry, or an angle, as you would refer to it probably in wrestling. But there has to be a reason for it. You have to be able to answer the question, why? Do you agree with Bischoff? Billy Kidman back as a producer. Last but not least, congratulations to Billy Kidman, who was furloughed from his job as a WWE producer, but who PW Insider's Mike Johnson revealed officially returned to work at today's Friday night Smackdown taping. Well guys, there you have it, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly from the 25th September Smackdown, along with the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know in wrestling. What did you think of these stories and rumors? Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.